Today we continue Ariyavasa Sutta. First, we have to recite Ariyavasa Sutta Pali. Can you follow me? Dasa ime bhagave Ariyavasa. Yeriya Awasein Suwa Awasandiwa Awasei Sandiwa Kadame Dasa Ida Bhagave Bhikkhu Pinjinga Vebino Hodi Chalinga Samanagado Ekareko Chatura Basino Panona Vijega Sijo Samawaya Satisano Anawila Singapore Pasada Gaya Singaro Suimoda Jada Suimoda Binyo. Masisira aphorism, can you follow me? To abandon the 5 factors, to be fulfilled with the 6 factors, and 1 protection, to depend on the 4 supports, and to dispel personal truths, to be free from searching, to have pure thoughts, to calm the in and out breath, to have a well-liberated mind, and well-liberated wisdom. The fully enlightened Buddha expounded the 10 features of Ariyavasa. So all the Buddhas and Ariyas, they dwell in this Ariyavasa, the abode of noble ones. At present, Ariyas stays dwelling in this Ariyavasa, and the future Ariyas will stay in this Ariyavasa. So then Ariyavasa, we finish Ekareko number 3, Chatura Pasino number 4, Chatura Pasino to depend on 4 supports. 4 supports are to use one thing. 4 supports are to use one thing, to endure another, to avoid stay another, and to dispel another. 4 supports. To dwell in this Ariyavasa, the abode of noble ones, we need 1 protection, that is mindfulness. All the yogis are developing that mindfulness all times. To develop mindfulness, we need 4 supports. You depend on the 4 supports and to practice mindfulness meditation. When you are developing mindfulness by observing every phenomena occurring at the 6 senses, first things yogi have to encounter is 5 hindrances, 5 nivaranas. If we are a beginner meditators, having not yet developed continuous mindfulness and strong concentration, then we cannot gain control over our mind. So it would wander as freely as always to every sense object it loves. That is the nature of minds, always jumping here and there. If we do not train, if we do not observe, such an unruly mental states are of 5 kinds, known as 5 hindrances. They are called hindrances because they hinder the noble path to Nirvana. These mental hindrances block the noble path to Nirvana, cessation or suffering. They block to build Ariyavasa, the abode of noble ones. So in the outline of this discourse, Ariyavasa Sutta, Buddha mentioned these 5 mental hindrances as 5 factors to abandon Pichinga Vipino Hoti. Having abandoned 5 factors, yogi must have abandoned 5 factors. And then Buddha describes these 5 factors. Katincha Bhikkhve Bhikkhu Pinchinga Vipino Hoti. Ita Bhikkhve Bhikkhuno Kamichando Pino Hoti Vyavado Pino Hoti Tinamedam Pina Hoti Uddhija Gungujan Pina Hoti Vichikeja Pina Hoti. That is, Buddha asked the question, and how has a bhikkhu practitioner abandoned 5 factors? And Buddha answered, here a bhikkhu practitioner has abandoned sensual desire, ill will, sloth and torpor, restlessness and remorse, and skeptic and doubt. It is in this way that a bhikkhu practitioner has abandoned 5 factors. So the first mental hindrance is kamichanda. Kama means desirable object, and chanda means desire. So the desire for pleasurable object is the literal meaning of kamichanda. So kama or kama guna is an object that everybody desire to enjoy. Suppose, for example, you have prepared food that you desire to eat. At that time, flies appear on the table, on the plate, and the fly hover over the plate, over the food, because they also love to eat. And then ants sneak in with purpose to enjoy it. Ants also like that food. You like it, I like it, the ants like it, the fly also like it. Everybody like. So we need to cover the food properly to keep it away from them. Otherwise, we have to share it with them. So an object that everybody wants to enjoy is called kama, the desirable. In an ultimate sense, such desirable objects are classified into 5 kinds: Ruparamana, Saddharamana, Gandharamana, Rasaramana, Potthaparamana. Ruparamana, visible object, pleasant to see. Saddharamana, audible object, nice to hear. Gandharamana, odorous object, fragrance to smell. Rasaramana, edible object, delicious to eat. And Potthaparamana, tangible objects, pleasant to touch. 5 aramana, 5 object, 5 sensual object. So in the sermon, Buddha compares sense object to a piece of meat carried off by a kite that becomes a target of fierce attack by other birds. Finally, the bird can no longer tolerate because others attack to take it. So that bird can no longer withstand the attack of other birds, and he has to drop the meat down. Then another kite takes the meat away. Of course, he cannot escape. The second kite is also attacked by other birds in the same way as the first one. So the second bird also has to drop the meat in the end because of too much attack by others. So in this way, kites attack any birds that possess the meat. A bird can escape the fierce attack only when it lets go of the meat. In the same way, a sensual object allures all living beings, and so its owner is the target of attack. So if the person gives one properties, other people may make attempts to rob him of it. So indeed, the desirable objects are the root cause of all the attack, the root cause of all the argument, the root cause of all the conflict between family members, between friends, between groups, between political parties, and between countries. Family members are fighting, friends are fighting, political parties are fighting, and countries are fighting because of this sensual object, desirable object. So people who are wise and good-hearted see these defects in these sensual object and sensual desire, and they make an attempt to renounce them. However, many people are unable to see the defect in sensual object. They cherish and get attached to them and make great effort in pursuit of the sensual object. Perhaps modern people are worse. They cherish sensual pleasure so much and think of it so highly that they even consider it a earthly heaven. So they seek for that sensual object at all costs by doing anything good or bad without reflecting wholesome and unwholesome. They don't care there is unwholesome deeds, but they try to seek for sensual pleasures at all costs. So sensual objects being desirable and alluring are called kama or kama guna. That means sensual bonds. Actually, the five sensual objects, Pincha Kamaguna, encompass a wide range of things and people. First of all, the visible object refers not only to the visible color or shape, but also to all things and people that it belongs to, such as men, women, the garments they wear, the device and furniture they use, and so on. In the same way, sounds as a sensual object, sense object includes not only voice, but also a person who speaks, person who sings a musical instrument, and devices. In the same way, smell is comprised of not only fragrant odor, but also flowers, perfumes, and people who apply perfumes. In the same way, taste refers not only to flavor, but also to the solid food and juice that it belongs to, and people who cook or people who prepare the food. Touch also covers all the things and people you have a physical contact with, such as men, women, clothes, beds, chairs, devices, and many more. In brief, all desirable objects are called kama or kama guna. Thinking about such sense object, how to get this object, how to enjoy this object, is called kamachanda nivarana, sensual desire that hinders our insight, knowledge, and enlightenment. So in other Sutta, Buddha mentioned the defect of sensual pleasures. The first one is sensual pleasures likened to a bone. Atikingulupama kama bhudokha bhupayasa adinavo itabinyo. That Pali means the desirable, desirous and sensual pleasures are like the bone with no meat and blood on it. These sensual pleasures cause a great deal of suffering. In this way, they are full of faults and they have bad effect. So the first example is likened to a bone. The sensual pleasures likened to a bone without any meat or blood on it. They are far from being delightful and enjoyable. Instead, they bring about bad effect. Suppose a butcher scrapes all the meat and blood off the bone, and then he throws it to a hungry dogs who are hanging around watching him. The hungry dogs happily run and pounce upon and grab the bone. Though there is no meat or blood on the bone, the smell makes the dog bite it and chew it and munch it with relish. In reality, it is the dog's own saliva and its wish to eat it that makes it seem tasty. Moreover, the dog's hunger will not be satisfied just by chewing this bare bone. It will be tiresome and worthless and bring nothing but suffering. If the dog does not search as well the food, but keep on biting and munching the bare bone, which does not satisfy his hunger, so it is like the tasteless bone. Sensual pleasures seem to be good to the people because they themselves take delight in them. And it is like the bare bone seems delicious to the hungry dog because of its saliva. In the same manner, the sensual pleasures will not be pleasing and enjoyable if the person himself does not take delight in them. So these pleasures are enjoyable only to those people who take delight in them. In the case of a sick person, he will not find any pleasure or enjoyment in any kinds of pleasure. So Buddha said sensual pleasures like the bare bone has nothing to be enjoyed and find delight in. They will cause endless suffering and anxiety in searching for them and hankering after them, Buddha said. So reflecting in this way, sensual pleasures should be totally abandoned. So another simile is grass torch, Tinokupama Kama, Budoka Bupayasa, Adinava Ita Binyo. In the ancient time, as there were no electric torch, people travel at night by the light of bamboo torch made out of bundle of bamboo or sticks. They also use a grass torch made by burning a bundle of grass. If a man holding a grass torch and goes against the wind, the grass torch burns up instantly and could even burn him if he does not discard it in time. In the same way, sensual pleasures kept by the person who have so attachment to these sensual pleasures could also make him suffer. So Buddha said, Tinokupama Kama, the sensual pleasures are like the grass torch. That means yogis should abandon, wise people have to abandon the sensual pleasures, reflecting on the simile of the grass torch. Another simile is a pit of burning coal. Ingara kasupama kama budoka bupayasa adinavo ita binyo. That means sensual pleasures are likened to a pit full of live coal, which is 100 asu deep. Assuming when the person stand up and he straighten his hands, so from the toe to the top of the hand, it is called asu. So that asu is 100 asu. That means the life coal pit is 100 asu or 250 years deep. It is frightening even to go near such a live coal pit filled with red burning coal up to its brim. So people would be very afraid if two strong men hold that person by the arms and threw him into that pit. It would be very frightening. So he have to try his utmost to escape. In the same way, the sensual pleasures are indeed frightful. So wise people should abandon these sensual pleasures by reflecting that they are frightening as the life coal pit. Another example is sensual pleasures can be compared with a dream. Buddha pointed out, Supinakupama Kama Budoka Bupayasa Adinavo Ita Biyo. The sensual pleasures are like dreams. Most of the people have had dreams, bad dreams, good dreams. While having a good dreams, he thinks it is real, it is substantial, and happily enjoying the dreams. But upon waking up, there's nothing real, nothing substantial about what he had experienced a while ago in the dreams. After all, it is only a dream. Nothing exists. In the same way, while he is enjoying sensual pleasures, things and objects appear to be real, to be substantial, but later he awakens and he see nothing substantial. So it is obvious that most suffering are experienced in the search for the sensual object than actual enjoyment of them. For example, to enjoy the good food, you have to go for shopping and you have to cook and you have to prepare many things. And you put the delicious food on the table and stretching your hand to the food, bringing the food to your mouth and chewing, and tasting for a few seconds. So while eating, the delicious taste on the tongue lasts for a short moment, and as soon as you swallow it, it exists no more. So enjoyment is only a few seconds, but you have to search for, you have to prepare many things to enjoy that that particular moment. In the same way, the sensual pleasures of sight, sound, odors, and touch are enjoyable at the moment of seeing, at the moment of hearing, at the moment of smelling, at the moment of touching. Afterwards, there is nothing left of them. For this reason, it is advisable to abandon these sensual pleasures by reflecting. They are more suffering than the momentary enjoyment of sensual pleasures. It is likened to a dream. So you have paper, you can you look at the page number 4, like a dream. The last page. So sensual pleasures are likened to a dream. So in the dream, the object seen in the dream, it may be seemingly to be substantial, seemingly to be real. But when you awaken, when you wake up, all the objects you have seen disappear. It is just only a moment. So in the same way, in our life, we meet together and we have experience, and then parting away. So this process, meeting, experiencing, and parting. These processes are always coming and going continuously. So this is the object seen and object's heart also the same. So in the dream, you hear good sounds, but when you wake up, all the good voice, good sound disappear. In the real life, also we talking each other, we hear, we experience hearing, and then as soon as you know you awaken, hearing disappear. So hearing process is coming and going continuously. Also bad sound, bad news. Also it is like a dreams. In the dreams you have a very bad dreams, abuses, scolding, all the bad sounds you hear. But when you awaken, all disappear. In the real life, you hear the bad news, you hear the bad sounds, that kinds of meeting with the bad sounds, you experience hearing, and then the sounds disappear, coming and going. And smelled, in the dream you smell very good smell in the dreams, sometimes bad smell, terrible smell you felt in the dreams, but when you awaken, all the smell disappear. In the same way, in real life, you smell good or bad smell, that kinds of smell meeting with the good or bad smell, you experiencing this smell, and then it disappear. And taste, the object taste in the dreams, very delicious food taken in the dreams, sometimes bad dreams, having the bad taste in the dreams, but when you awaken, all disappear. So in the real life, breakfast, lunch, and all the good taste, bad taste, we having, we experience that kinds of bad and good taste, but all the taste existing at that moment, and they disappear, all coming and going nature. In the dreams, touch, good touch and bad touch, good dreams and bad dreams. But when you awaken, all the touches, all the touching process disappear. So in the real life, many touch, all the time touching, external and internal, tactile sensation, the kinds of meeting with the touching, you experience good touching and bad touching, but all the touching disappear at that moment. They are rising and disappearing all the time. They are coming and going in nature. So sensual objects are likened to a dream. Our life is like a dream. All disappear when you are awakened, when you are mindful. So it is real life, or experiencing, or meetings, or encountering, and then disappearing immediately. So can you follow me? The object seen in the dream all despair upon waking. Similarly, in real life, our meetings, experiences, and partings are always arising and disappearing. So in real life, it is not a dream. In real life, you need to observe seeing process thoroughly so that you may understand what Buddha said. It is like a dream, just momentary existing and appearing and disappearing. A hearing process, can you follow me? The object's heart in the dream, all despair upon waking. Similarly, in real life, our meetings, experiences, and partings are always arising and disappearing. Then in the dream smelling, a real life, a practical smelling process, you need to understand. Good smell, bad smell, you need to be mindful. You will understand that smelling process is like into a dream. The object smelled in the dream all disappear upon waking. Similarly, in real life, our meetings, experiences, and partings are always arising and disappearing. And tasting process, the object tasted in the dream or disappear. Also in real life, every time you have taste, you need to be aware of the tasting. And tasting is just momentary, and you understand that tasting process is like into a dream. Can you follow me? The object tasted in the dream all disappear upon waking. Similarly, in real life, our meetings, experiences, and partings are always arising and disappearing, coming and going. Touching process in the dream, touching, good touch, bad touch, good dream, bad dreams, encountering bad touch, horrible, good touch, we enjoyable, but mindful when you awaken. In real life, many touching, pain, pleasant, all the touch process you try to be aware. And you understand that touching is just a momentary, not the permanent, not the substantial, not the real. It disappears very fast. You need to observe very, very precisely so that you will understand that all the touching process are likened to a dreams. Can you follow me? The object touched in the dream, all disappear upon waking. Similarly, in real life, our meetings, experiences, and partings are always arising and disappearing, coming and going. So here Buddha mentioned only just sensual desire, supinakupama kama, but sensual pleasures are also our life. We look for sensual pleasures and we look for namarupa. Namarupa, they are the same process. And Buddha continue to mention sensual objects are likened to borrowed things. Yasitakupama kama budokha bhupayasa adinawa itapiyo. The sensual pleasures are likened to borrowed things. Things such as clothing and jewelry, borrowed to be used for a certain occasion, have to be returned to the owner after the occasion. So that borrowed thing is not for permanent use, for a short time. So in the city, people used to wear borrowed clothes. If they cannot buy, they have to borrow. They have to borrow jewelries to ceremonies and parties. Yes, these people are beautiful and shining and bright with the borrowed things. However, these borrowed things have to be returned after the ceremony. In the same way, sensual pleasures are to be enjoyable only for a short while, not for long. He can own things and properties today, but it is not sure whether they will be there the next day. These pleasures are not sure. So the properties might be ruined or taken away by fire, floods, bad people, thieves, and disorderly administrators. As for the spouses, they can be separated anytime. Finally, one person dies, all these sensual pleasures have to be left behind. That is why Buddha said, Yachitagupama kama, sensual pleasures are likened to borrowed things. There is a very appropriate example. The person cannot enjoy the sensual pleasure alone without the external animate or inanimate sensual object. He also suffers yearning for sensual object. He may suffer immensely as it is disgraceful and shameful when the owner takes back the borrowed things in the presence of other people. So sensual object he owns is not sure. Many incident will happen. So if the person assumes the inanimate things such as gold, silver, diamonds, gems, houses, beautiful house, beautiful lands, and animate things such as wife, husband, and companions. This is my gold, this is my silver, this is my diamonds, this is my gem, this is my beautiful house, this is my beautiful lands, this is my beautiful wife, this is my beautiful husband, this is my beautiful friends. This is mine, that is mine, that is mine. He assumed in this way. So that person extremely enjoy and takes delight in sensual object. Why being so? Due to one or other circumstances. If these sensual pleasures are ruined or separated, he will suffer mentally. He may be afflicted with diseases. He may be crazy, or he may die suddenly. For this reason, the sensual pleasure should be abandoned by reflecting. These objects are likened to borrowed things to be enjoyed only for a short while. Reflecting in this way, then you have to abandon. Another example is a pile of fire. Sensual pleasures can be compared with a pile of fire. Buddha said, Agi kandupama kama budoka bupayasa adinavo ita binyo. Buddha compared the sensual pleasures with a pile of fire. When he approached a pile of fire with high flames, he or she will suffer intense heat. If he or she embraced the high flames, he or she could be burned to death. So wise people avoid the pile of fire with high flames. If he has to use the fire for certain purpose, he will stay at a distance and protect himself with a shield so as not to be burnt. However, flying termites fly into the flame and they die. But we don't know what the flying termites think of the fire flame. So to remind the people not to dash into the sensual pleasures like the flying termites, which blindly fly into the fire flames. Teachers reminded, rushing and dashing into the fire, flying termites encounter a fatal death. Nevertheless, like the flying termites, people rush into sensual pleasures, which is hot and burning like the fire flame. So in their mind, in their blind search for sensual pleasures, they even dare to steal, they even dare to loot and kill if they have to steal, if they have to loot and kill. In the story as well as in the Pali text, there are many instances with the son, the prince Ajatasattu assassinated his father, who was Sottapana King Bimbisara, in order to gain the throne. Nevertheless, noble people wishing to escape from the suffering should discard those pleasures. They have to reflect, they have to see the sensual pleasures as faults. So it is advised to abandon the sensual pleasures, just like the frightful pile of fire. So that comparison with the pile of fire, we will continue this time. We have to stop our discourse for today. So Buddha mentioned the defect of sensual pleasures, and after showing these defect of the sensual pleasures, he in the Ariyavasa, he said the practitioner must have having abandoned the kamachanda, sensual desire. So may you build up the Ariyavasa, the abode of noble ones. May you dwell in the Ariyavasa, the abode of noble ones, gracefully by practicing Satipatthana meditation, by developing mindfulness continuously and meticulously. May all yogis be liberated from all suffering. May all yogis realize the real peace in the very near future. So